Hi, thanks for tuning in, and we have a very special guest. We have Staff Sergeant Cook with us today, and I want to say, first of all, thank you for serving our country. Thank you for being a Marine.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. Why did you choose to be a Marine? I mean, basically how old you are, did you go to college, and then did you join, or did you go from high school right into the military?
Gotcha. My name is Staff Sergeant Cook. I'm originally from South Carolina. I grew up in a small little town, so I'm kind of used to the small town kind of vibes that Frederick does have to offer. I joined when I was 18 years old. I actually graduated high school a year early, and then went to college. Tried it out for a little bit. Went down there. It was fun. I decided that I needed something a little bit more. I felt like I had kind of I needed to give back a little bit more and stuff like that. I've always had kind of also the call to serve kind of feeling. My dad was actually in the Army, so I grew up right outside Fort Jackson, if anybody's familiar with that. And then I just kind of walked right into a recruiting office and was just said, hey, I would want to do this. Obviously, this was back in 2011. World was at a little different of a time frame. So when I did that, I've been in the Marine Corps ever since then. It's about 10 years now. I'm actually an aircraft mechanic, so I work on Hueys and Cobras for a living. I've kind of flown around, seen the world in the back of a helicopter, so it's been kind of fun.
So you've been in for about 9 years, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and do you plan on retiring?
I do. I look forward to the time that I turn 38, so I can get this first retirement out of the way, and then go off and do something else.
When somebody's thinking possibly about a job in the military, and a lot of people have a preconceived notion that, oh, these people are just sent away for years at a time, they don't make any money, there's a lot of hardships. What exactly could I do that would help me getting a skill that would help me after retirement? And how could you kind of let people know, hey, you know what, you can get a really good career in the military, no matter what branch you go into. For you, preferably Marines, but tell us some of the benefits of your job and being in the military.
Yes, so right now a lot of the things are, I like to say skills pay the bills. That's kind of the era that we live in right now. You look at the way the economy's kind of going, the jobs that are out there that are available. It's a lot of skill set based, and a lot of people that are hiring are looking for experience as well. So that's looking into the military in general. Obviously, the Marine Corps, I said being preferred right now, but it's very beneficial, and it'll allow you to actually, when you're going through the hiring process after the military, and you return back to the civilian sector, that's one of the things that they look at. They look at obviously the skills that the military provides as an individual, but also you're not just honed in on one thing and you have that experience in that one field. So it's a lot of good things. Speaking for example, a couple of my junior Marines that I used to work with, we were turning riches on helicopters, and now these guys are working for major corporations like SpaceX and Tesla and stuff like that. And a lot of the times they're getting their foot in the door because of that prior military experience, our Marine Corps experience.
And you said that you've done a lot of traveling. Where have you gone?
I was actually stationed in Camp Pendleton, California, which is northern San Diego County, for about 7.5 years before I came out here and started recruiting. So I've traveled up and down the West Coast, flown underneath the Golden Gate Bridge, done a couple of Fleet Weeks, which is a giant celebration that a town has for the military, kind of a big military appreciation kind of thing. I've also flown around Japan, so I've been to Okinawa, a tiny little island south of mainland, and then all the way up to Mount Fuji. So I've done a lot of cool things. It's kind of fun just hanging out inside of a helicopter. So it's great.
Some kids may think, yeah, I want to go, but I want to go into college first. I want to not go in enlisted. I actually want to go into an officer's program. Is there a big difference between the two?
There is absolutely a huge difference. So the two main options that a lot of people are looking at to when they're considering the military is, do they go enlisted or officer? Enlisted, you do not have to have a college degree. Officer, you do actually have to have a bachelor's degree. Now there are programs to go from either way, from enlisted to officer, so you can go enlisted and it's going to be beneficial to you to go to the officer route. But even then, even if to the individual that it pertains to, if college is the most important thing to them, say coming out of high school, we also have the reserves. That's what allows somebody coming fresh out of high school or maybe first, second year of college to continue to go to college full time, get some of the benefits that help them along the way, and then they can make that decision to go into an officer route. So there's a lot of different routes and options. It just really depends on the person.
You're a Marine, of course, because you're a recruiter, you want people to join the Marines. Totally get that. But there are many times that maybe a girl or a teenager would think, I really want to go into the service, but can't be a Marine because that's just for the guys. I mean, is that just a general perception? Is that the truth? Are the Marines for both men and women?
Yes, Marines, men and women, everybody's equal when it comes down to the Marine Corps. Honestly, you can ask most male Marines. I mean, the females kind of have like that super leg up on the males because obviously we pride ourselves on being the few, the proud. But the female Marines out there, they're the fewer and the prouder. I've worked hand in hand with everybody. It doesn't matter. What it takes to be a Marine is on the person. It's not based off of gender or anything like that.
In your almost decade of service, what has been your best memory?
Ooh, best memory. Honestly, it doesn't even. I would say I've obviously had a lot of times doing actually like in the Marine Corps. As far as my job, I actually provided a lot of humanitarian aid relief when I was out in Japan. Obviously, tsunamis and earthquakes and stuff like that happening. So being able to, everyone thinks the military, maybe in a combat environment or something like that, but we do a lot of humanitarian aid relief, either here in the U.S. and overseas. So that was kind of cool, but I think outside, also being a Marine, but not actually job-wise, it was actually coaching a Little League baseball team. It was actually a really great feeling. I grew up playing baseball, so to be able to hone that in and give back was also a great thing to the community.
I have to ask, what is the one thing that you don't like about your job?
Ooh, one thing I don't like, man. Honestly, I can't really say that there's something that I don't really like about the job. I mean, honestly, I think accepting the lifestyle, I think is one of the hard parts. But I would say, if I could sum it up, it would be maybe the fear of the unknown. There's a lot of times we go into anything in life, and being able to not know exactly what's going to happen or something like that. It can get to you a little bit, but you just rely on the tools and the things that you've been taught along the way. A lot of that is instilled in boot camp and stuff like that. So, it gets easier, but it's always kind of a lingering kind of thing. It's the fear of the unknown. I think it's a very natural kind of response.
Somebody's watching this video, maybe somebody's parent, and they're thinking, yeah, you know what, I do want my child to go into the military, really want them to go ahead and talk to someone in your recruiting office. What happens when they go in? Do they get like an interview? Do they take it's the ASVAB test? I mean, what happens?
Yeah, so basically they just come in and obviously we gather some basic background information. We got to make sure that you are at a basis qualified. So there are some prerequisites that go into that. One of the other things that we do is we do put them on a practice ASVAB test just to kind of see where their mental testing abilities are at. I know in our office we never do paperwork with somebody on the first day. I think we understand that it is a huge decision. And I tell the guys that I put in, I don't care if you're 17 or 28 years old, I want to talk to whoever is important to you as you're making this decision. So whether that's mom, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, bring them in because I want to make sure everybody's on the same page and that everybody understands what the next steps are and stuff like that. So it's a pretty simple process. It's not, hey, sign you up, you're gone tomorrow kind of thing. It is a process, it's not an overnight process. But at the end of the day, just come in, ask your questions that you may have, because there's a lot of misunderstandings and myths and stuff like that. So.
And generally, when somebody signs up, I mean, is it sign up and then they leave maybe the next month, or how long does it take, or is it just depending on the individual and exactly the job that they're going into?
It really depends. We're able to work out a lot of different things. For us, obviously I can't speak for the other branches and stuff like that. I'm not going to send them down to Paris Island and feed them to the wolves or the drill instructors kind of thing. part of that process is called the delayed entry program. That's where that individual will work out with the recruiters, and it's our job to prepare them mentally and physically for boot camp. Now, as far as going out, I would say always kind of expect for us to be about maybe a 6 to 9 month wait. Obviously longer if you were in high school. You got to finish high school because you can't join in your senior year. So sometimes those guys get slid out to almost a year that they're in the delayed entry program. But if you're ready to go and the job is there and you are wanting to take that, then we're able to help out as much as we can.
Okay, for our last 30 seconds, give a push as to why somebody should join the Marines as to opposed to the other branches, because I know you guys all support each other, but there's a little competition there. Why the Marines?
Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of competition. One of the things that really separates us from the other branches is that we're very big on the intangible things. The benefits are all the same across the branches. Paycheck, being able to go to school and stuff like that. But being a Marine, it really hunkers down to you accepting that challenge. And we like to tell people, do you want to be a better version of yourself, or do you want to be the best version of yourself? And the Marine Corps brings out the best in everybody. So that's kind of our big push right now.
Wonderful. So if you're thinking of a job in the military, the Marines are really something that you should check out. Thank you so much for stopping by today.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.